Peace and blessings, brothers and sisters. Once again, this is Chakra, a student of the Reverend Reside. All blessings and respects due. In this conversation, I'm going to talk a little bit about the divine essence and its function in your life, and how to activate it, and how to allow the divine essence to be the main motivating or the main initiating factor in your life. So when man is born pure, but the soul and the consciousness inside the child doesn't have the faculties to express itself. So as the child grows and develops, certain faculties begin to open up inside the human body. Those that work in the education field see this all the time. Children in the first grade have a certain rationality, have a certain capability, control over their emotions that children that are 3 and 4 years old don't. Children in the third grade have a capability and a control over their emotions and their self that students in the first grade do not. And this is primarily due to the operation and the functioning of the chakras. In the first grade, or from the years 0 to 7 in boys, 0 to 6 in girls, the operation of the first chakra is predominant. And the first chakra consciousness is completely concerned about physical needs. And it is also geared towards that lower chakra region area, defecation, urination, not being able to hold or control that area. As we mature, as we grow in that consciousness, we gain powers over that area, and then we begin to explore around the ages of 6 and 7 the areas of the second chakra, which is understanding how we relate to others. And then the second chakra ages in another video, which won't be produced in such a matter. I'll go through the different chakra ages and the various issues related to that more in depth. But the second chakra age is from 6 to 12 in girls, 7 to 14 in boys. And during that age, we begin to form friendship bonds. It is how we begin to start to understand who we are, what we like in relationship to others. We begin to interact more with others. Our interaction in our group becomes primal, because the second chakra is all about interpersonal communication and interaction with others. And so then, between the ages of 12 to 18, 14 to 21, 12 to 18 in girls, 14 to 21 in boys, the third chakra begins to develop. Now, the development of those chakras is not really complete until, that end part, till that next chakra begins to open. So that whole time, the other chakras are not completely dormant, but their energy is not ready yet to manifest. And so, basically with the oncoming of puberty is when the third chakra begins to open. The third chakra has to deal with the manifestation of our will on this planet. Now, during these chakra ages, these are really, really important ages because these are our formative years. Between the fourth chakra won't begin to open really until about the age of 28. Now, the problem with that is you can develop some serious problems, or what they call blocks. Now, the chakras are always kind of functioning on their own level and in their own realms and in their own degrees. But if you can develop some serious blocks during these formative years. And this will hinder the divine essence from manifesting fully in your life. You know that the divine essence is manifesting when you begin to have synchronistic experiences, when things begin to fall into place for you. That's how you begin to understand that you are walking that path and the divine supports you in what you do. Now, when you are stuck in a chakra block, you know, say let's just say, for instance, as a child, you weren't really, you know, safe and secure at your home. You know, you didn't feel safe. Like your dad or your mom, they weren't, you know, you didn't have a constant home. You were constantly moving from place to place to place to place. Therefore, that sense of home security, that sense of I know that I will always have a place to stay is not there. That causes a block in that chakra. And this person may feel a certain way about their home life. They may either grow up to develop extreme attachments to being safe and secure in one space. They may never really venture out to explore the rest of the world. Or they may have this understanding that, you know, they don't need to have a place to stay. They don't have a comfort zone. This typically tends to happen with a lot of foster kids. And people that move around a lot. There is no basis. There is no grounding in reality. So, or not grounding in reality, but grounding. And so that's a block, you know, because as we grow and develop in this earth, on this world, we need to have a form of security. That's what the first chakra represents. You know, physical security. You have your basic needs met. You know, you always constantly have a place to stay, a place to sleep, a place to lay your head, somewhere warm, comfortable, that protects you from the outside elements. Now, if you have a block in that first chakra, it will hinder the energy that flows from that chakra. That chakra energy will flow out in an unbalanced way. And so you have to begin to really go into trance, into meditation, to bring up those experiences and to cleanse them. See, meditation, the divine essence will come out in several ways. One of those ways is ritual in a group. Typically that tends to work. This is what many indigenous cultures know. This is what many indigenous cultures practice. Another way is through meditation. When you meditate, now there's several forms of meditation, and the meditation I am talking about is when you go within and you bring your focus of your attention to the middle of your mind, where your mind's eye is located, and you go within. That's it. Now, there is a meditation in which you imagine or you visualize yourself as a deity or as a certain archetype, and you are living your life as that archetype. And as you live your life as that archetype, you manifest the characteristics and the traits of that archetype in certain situations and alleviate it. And then you will begin to take care of the blocks in that way as that archetype in your meditation. The other way, however, is when you go into trance or when you go into meditation and you attune yourself to the divine essence. It's like this slow ebbing throb that will begin to pulsate throughout your being. And when you enter into that state enough times, in a healthy and balanced way as well, it's like, you know, you are beginning to take yourself through initiation. The blocks that you have will fall away, because the divine essence is like a ball encased inside of these programs and conditionings that society has put upon you. And it's like an etheric, you know, pulsating ball in which all of these strings are pulsating. And when you meditate, you allow it to grow and to expand. And as it expands, that bond or that holding that those programs and conditionings had on your being and that restricted the divine essence from manifesting in your life fall away. They become thinner. The veil begins to become lifted, and the divine essence begins to shine through in your life. And this, this is happening because your life begins to change. You become more and more attuned. You become like a flower child, no doubt about that. I'm gonna be the first one to tell you, when you really delve deeply into the meditation, you begin to and when you begin to really try to open up and become attuned to that fourth chakra energy, which is love, as the Zimmere, all blessings and respects, says all the time, Oheba, life is love. When you begin to manifest on that realm, you become like a flower child. Like what the hippies call a flower child. You are attuned and in love with the universe. You have a love relationship with the universe. And that's how you're going to begin to express yourself. You're going to begin to express life in love terms. And so anger, hatred, fear, jealousy, envy, these things fall away from you. And you begin to walk and live with the divine essence. I know some traditions, I guess the Christian traditions will say walk and live with God. But you begin to give yourself over. It is a sacrifice. What ends up happening. And when the divine essence begins to flow into your life, it becomes wonderful. Nobody understands it. When you meditate, you step outside of the realm of physical understanding because you are trying to access the all. You are trying to access omniscience. And in order to be a part of that omniscience, you're not going to be a part of those that know things, because omniscient means all-knowing. And anybody that lives on the planet Earth right now only knows a limited amount of something. And that's all that they can know. That's just the limits of human consciousness. Human consciousness can only retain so much. The smartest brother on the planet with the most photographic memory can still only know so much. And then on top of that, can that photographic memory combine different elements together to understand how things are interrelated and connected? Because we live in an interrelated and connected world. And so I'm getting distracted. The divine essence can be accessed through intense, nothingness meditation. No goal but to sit there and to observe. And as you observe, you allow things to fall away from you. As they fall away from you, you begin to change and become something different, something more than what you were before, because you begin to erase those blocks that developed as you were a youth and manifesting and growing in your age. Now, unless you go through these initiations and these meditations, you can get stuck very easy. I mean, it is very easy. This is most commonly known when someone enters into a relationship with somebody, and it's called bringing the baggage over from the previous relationship. They were hurt in their previous relationship so much that they're taking out their pain on you. Even if they're not physically abusing you, if they have standards set by that previous relationship because they were hurt and their standards were developed due to pain, they are abusing you, even though they may not know it, because they are not interacting with you, but they are interacting with a fragment of you. Essentially, they're still hashing out energy of their previous relationship, because until they can interact with you without any baggage from their relationship, you're not really interacting with this person. You're interacting with a shadow, or they are interacting with you as if though you are a shadow of that former person that caused them to have this programming and conditioning, and how it just runs. It's just running, and you're running with it, and you're a part of it. Now, you may be getting hurt, or you may be enjoying the ride and the sensation, but essentially that's what ends up happening. And so, but at that point, when that is happening, or the person that is doing that, or when you see that being done, to clear out that situation, it has been historically said in mystical traditions to step back, to leave things alone, and to clear it out. Now, there are a lot of traditions lately that say you don't have to do that. You can kind of engage in life and society and still transform, transcend, transmute these energies. It just takes longer. It just takes a lot longer and it takes really a lot more devotion, because society has a consciousness that perpetuates itself, unbeknownst to you. Society, there is an asili. Maureen Bani in her book Yurugu calls it the asili, the unconscious, subconscious urges and drives of society. The asili is within you. It is a seed of energy that manifests within you. Now, from that asili comes what's called the utamawazu. It's either utamawazu. And the utamawazu are cultural thoughts related to that asili. And that leads to what's called utamaroho, are actions that come from the thoughts that come from the asili. Essentially saying, you are what you think, and you act out what you think. You cannot act beyond the realm of your thought. So if you cannot think it, you cannot act it, and you cannot become it. So essentially, and this is the society's energies, and this is the society's thoughts running through you, and then programming you, and you're becoming conditioned, and you like, football, and you like to go out, and you like to enjoy, you like to eat, like especially around holidays, you see those programs running real hard. You like to have a burger after the club. Your desire, your goal is to get somebody that fulfills some image that society has put in your mind, girls and guys. And you're going for it, and you're running with it, and you're letting that program just run. You're finding out, and you're facing a lot of dissatisfaction because the program is not real. The program is not based upon any type of reality. It's based upon preconceived notions and a culture that is not attuned to the universal energy. Therefore, you find dissatisfaction, disappointment, and disunion in general in members of this culture. And so these lead to the blocks, these lead to the diseases, these lead to the illnesses that people experience over and over and over and over in this society. And this is the problem. This is why meditation is so important, because you can begin to heal yourself from those illnesses, those sicknesses, and those diseases. And once you heal from them, you can live a more clean, holistic, better quality of life, with a deep, deep relationship and understanding with the universe that totally supports you in your desires and your endeavors, because your desires and your endeavors are attuned to its energy. And when you become attuned to the energy of the universe wants to support you. The universe wants you to understand that you are a part of the universe. That is one of the goals of existence, to understand your purpose and your reason for manifesting in this particular time, in this particular epoch, and how you can contribute your talent to the growth and development of the place that you're in. We can go on and on and on, but that's what we have for now. Peace and blessings. This is shepsankhamen. On.